I just want everyone to look at what happens when you drop your heel down just a little bit. What happens with your knee placement, okay? We know in sand we're trying to get the weight to the back of the bike as much as we can. So some small little adjustments with the foot makes a big difference, okay? I also want to point the attention to how you're adjusting your rear brake. If the rear brake is in line with the foot peg, because if it's any lower than that, if you're having to press your back brake really low, it's going to be really hard to press the back brake and hold your knees back, which is really important for sand. I purposely have my back brake adjusted a little bit higher than the foot pegs. So when I actually press the back brake, it's in line with the foot peg. Because you'll notice if you're having to reach down for your back brake, straight away your knees will go forwards like this. So if you're in sand and you're going over bumps and your knees go in front of the foot pegs, that's going to make that front end feel really, really heavy. As you press the back brake, your foot's going to go forwards, but you can't let that go. So you go foot forwards, and sometimes I push the knees even further back. That gives me a little bit more weight over the back of the bike. Can you see that? Yeah? So pressing the brake and not letting them knees carry forwards is such an important technique on a fast track like that. General, just standing without the brake. Again, if you stand a bit flat-footed and your heel is a bit high and you ride around like that, your knees is going to go forwards, the same problem. So we never want that. If your foot is flat, that's okay, you can bring the knees back, but when you start dropping your heels down, that's also going to push you a little bit more weight to the back of the bike there as well. So even just your position on your general foot position through the rollers and stuff like that, I was trying to get you to get a little bit further back yesterday so you can push your ankles down, and again, it's putting the weight where it needs to be. That's where your drive is, and that's where your traction is, okay? So again, to make this adjustment, I come out the corner, like we said yesterday, especially, get the foot back on nice and early out the turn, and then I get my weight towards the back, so sitting out of the corner. Whilst I'm sat in the seat here, that's a perfect time to move my feet around. If they're not in the perfect place, it's easy to move them when my arse is in the seat like that. So when I do stand up, bang, and then I can drop the heels down. If we put the foot back on, and it's kind of just anyhow, right, and then I'm leaning back, not moving my feet. If I stand up now, stand up in this position and there's a big hole in front of me in roller, there's no way in time for the roller that I'm going to be able to move my feet around whilst I'm standing up. So when I'm standing up, all my weight's in my foot. So that adjustment is very, very difficult. So like we said yesterday, you come out the corner, you always get your foot on nice and quickly, adjust your position. As soon as you adjusted your position, maybe done a gear change, now you have to move your feet. That has to be a priority. Focus on knees back, arse back. Knees back, arse back, good. Space, create the space, good. Good. Knees back, wide arms. Knees back, wide arms, good. Being in the rev range a little bit more, letting the bike rev a little bit more, maybe flicking the clutch from time to time, even if we land or down a straight and we hit a soft patch. We were saying about just flicking the clutch just to keep the revs up a little bit. So you've got to think about, if we're talking about speed and straight line speed, it's got to be comfortable using all the throttle. Some of you naturally might just grip there, that's where it feels comfortable. Okay, your arms are already quite low, your hands quite far down. You think by the time you're even half throttle or 3/4 or 4, you're down here somewhere, all right? So it's not comfortable to use all the throttle. So if we're just going from one corner to the next or landing off a jump to the next corner, we want to be in a position where using all the throttle is very easy for us. Hands, I always work on not being too close to the waffle like this. I like to just create a bit of space, okay? Leave a bit of a gap there. And if I can just point my hands inwards like that, look what happens to my arms, they're so wide. All right, so that's for control. Space between your elbows. So I'm not tucked in like this, like that, getting some wobble on the front. I'm creating a bit of space between my arms, and that comes from just having your hands at that angle there. Even in the air, when my throttle turns off, I loosen my grip a little bit, pick my hand up, so when I land, it's very easy for me to use all the throttle. Yeah, so if I start up there, I'm going to finish there. If I start there, I'm going to finish there. Harris has been sending it this trip. Good on, Harris. Oh, I just checked up a bit. Ricky's going well. See if he gets the gear change nice and quick. Gear into brakes. Oh, a bit loose. Looking good on the Fantic. Sounds crispy there. Feeling okay? You're doing it nice and smooth, and I heard a little bit of clutch that time as well, which was good. That's how we want it. Ricky, when you was off the back brake then, that was a lot better. A lot better. Just think about when you're releasing the brake, you're telling yourself that you're committing to the corner, and then you want to drive in sand all the way round the corner, do you know what I mean? Not just pause and then go. So when you drive from the start all the way, loads better. Loads better. See if Ricky can get off the back brake a bit earlier. Better. Beautiful. Harris's approach. Nicely stood up. Leaning in off the brakes. Solid. That was good. Through the rollers, we were saying about getting some weight right towards the back. So to get in that position, look, your knees stay there. That doesn't move. Bend those. Push yourself back like you're sitting down, but you're not. But your head doesn't really come back too much with it. You hinge more here. So that's when I'm leaning really far back. Look, touching the back of the seat sometimes. Back to the middle. Like that, back to the middle. Like that, back to the middle. Through the rollers, that's a key movement, that is. Yeah? It's the hips that move, okay? So if I want to get to the front of the bike, I hinge like this. I don't dip the knees forwards to help me do that, okay? This has got to look after the back of the bike, this has got to look after the top of the bike. Nearly dislocate the old shoulders. Full on jigsaw puzzle this, isn't it? Have to exercise your OCD from time to time. It's a good outcome. Happy with that. Get mentally prepared for a fucking lot of driving. Say again.
Bang on 3, that's worked out lovely.
Oh, delicious. So that's the 3-day coaching camp here in Tain, Scotland. We've experienced all the weather possible. Some rain, low sun, perfect conditions, and thick fog as well. But we've worked through it. Solid time with some of the locals. Like to meet new people on these coaching trips, so some new friends made. So now we've got the big drive home. I was going to do a bit more to this vlog, a bit more like gym training and stuff like that, but Silverback was closed unfortunately in Tain, so quite a basic one. Just giving you some tricks and tips with the coaching, a bit more on that side of it, and hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see what next week brings.